Oh yeah, now my people, it's your guy, the Niger Englishman, and we are back here, One Touch TV, the first episode of Free Touches for 2023, and it's mad to even say 2023. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, share, comment, all of that. Whether you're watching it now, whether you're watching it later, everything Arsenal. And there's some surprises of One Touch TV coming in 2023. You'll hear some announcements over the next few days. But anyway, we come here to talk the mighty Arsenal, Arsenal FC, the team that are on top of the league. And for those of you who've been here before, you know when it comes to free touches, I'm never here on my own. I've got to invite my panel, my brothers, to come and represent the mighty Arsenal live on YouTube. First things first, back by popular demand. We've not seen him for a while. We've missed him on the YouTube scene for a while, but he came back with a vengeance. I think with his Newcastle preview, back again. My guy in the building. We got man like Aussie Gooner, and we got man like GTalks in the building. How you guys doing, man? You lot good?
Oh, loving life right now. Loving it. Loving it.
Bro, do you know what? The funniest thing just happened now. Like, I know that sounded like I kind of gave Aussie a really big intro and I didn't give you one. But what happened there? Yeah, I was planning to bring you in one by one, but you know when it comes to technology and me,
I thought you were going to do that. I thought you were going to do that. I swear. And then all three of us pop up, and I'm like, well, that's kind of fucking shit, isn't it? That's horrible.
Genuinely the plan. But
this is what happens in live. This is what happens in live streaming, bro. Here's what it is.
And Craig, you got.
But back again on One Touch TV. He's been on Free Touches before. He's a bit of a celebrity right now. Like, you can catch him on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. My guy, GTalks in the building. How you doing? Did I make up for it?
Yeah, a little bit.
How you doing, bro?
Man. I'm good, man. Yeah, just been really busy over the Christmas and New Year period. As I was saying in obviously the WhatsApp group chat, juggling family, 3 kids, wife, job. Yeah. It's a lot. So busy time. But no, I made my comeback when Gumza did the review of the Newcastle game on the Armoury TV. So this is my second. I think this is like only my second stream in like over a month or so. So yeah, man. But good to be here, man. Good to be here.
Love that. Get into some of the comments real quick. They're already getting me going in 2023. First of all, big up Craig, R.I.P. Gianluca Vialli. Footballing royalty, I would say. Won Champions League, Cup Winners' Cups, UEFA Cups, league trophies at Juventus and other teams as a manager and as a player. So big him up, man. R.I.P. Gianluca. What a striker he was. Didn't like him too much when he was Chelsea manager, but other than that, big him up, man. My best wishes go to his family and all his friends. Vamos Kosana in the building. Mbizo, the professors there. Crocodile Dundee. Where's Deji? The infamous clash. It's definitely going to be on the end of season award show for something, I'm sure, man. Big up Mbizo all the way from Sao Paulo. Don't forget to smash the like, share, comment, all of that. Well, guys, we're here. We're on the back of if you listen to what social media is saying right now, you would think Arsenal are on the decline. Arsenal are struggling. They're choking now. They're having a tough season. But because it's kind of past, I don't want to go too much into the Newcastle game, but I want like a minute or two from each of you just to give your overview analysis of what you thought from the Newcastle game. G.
You know what? I was really confident going into the match. But the reason why I'm confident is because of where we are and how we're playing. Conceding goals are not a problem. Scoring goals are not a problem. And, right about now, like you said, I think we all need to, have a bit of, certain sections of the fan base need to be a little bit reality checking that, we are still 5 points clear at the top.
Yeah.
In terms of the Newcastle game, I was really confident going into it. First 15, 20 minutes, we were really good, really sharp. I think on reflection, we probably ought to have got the first goal. I think had we got the first goal in the first 15, 20 minutes, it would have been a completely different game. After that, I think Newcastle came to terms with the fact that they couldn't play us and they literally just switched up their tactics.
Completely.
And they played for a draw. They played to keep us out. And Newcastle are very good defensively. They have the best defense in the Premier League. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say we struggled to break them down. I think we, created chances. I think we dominated the game. We dominated possession. We were clearly the better side. But I think just like, Aussie Gooner alluded to before we came on air, if anybody that's played football at any level played against a low block where a team's only intention is to defend and put all men behind the ball, it's really, really hard to break them down.
100%.
It's no easy feat, And you got to look at it like people talking about like how good Newcastle were, but I've watched Newcastle play this season, and Newcastle don't play football like that week in, week out. They play attacking football, they play expressive football, and they came to the Emirates and they knew after 15, 20 minutes, had they played like that, we would beat them. So I think in many ways, Newcastle's tactics says a lot more about Arsenal than it does about Newcastle.
Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, we didn't get the winner, which I was disappointed about, because I think as a fan, we always want to get 3 points, particularly at home. We want to march on. We want to obviously extend our lead at the top. So I was frustrated. I was disappointed, but I mean, on reflection, we played the third best team in the Premier League with the best defensive record. Yeah. When the league, we are in a title race. That's no shadow of a doubt. Whether we want to admit it or not, we are. But ultimately, the Premier League is not going to be won and lost with a 0-0 draw at our home ground against Newcastle.
Big facts.
So on the whole, 2 points dropped, but 1 point gained, and we move.
All right, perfect analysis. I mean, Mbiza agrees with you there. He also says, nonsense. Arsenal playing some of the best ball in the league. Should have killed Newcastle early. First 15 minutes could have banged 2-3. Slow and indecisive in the final third. But that's spot on as well, man. Both of you kind of spot on with that. Also, Craig reckons the refs spoiled the Arsenal Newcastle. In a way, but I'm not going to blame the ref on us not getting the job done. But I agree, the ref was awful that night, 100%. Kasana, Newcastle, best defensive team in the league. Kasana, is that you sticking up for an Arteta team there, Kasana? I don't know if I'm seeing things. Let me know if I'm seeing things, because I'm not used to seeing that, man. It might be a new year. I'm City guy, says, no need to panic, guys. Arsenal's still playing good football, and it's a long season. City could potentially play 8 matches this month. And that, as much as people are brushing that off, that could be a key factor, even though City are still very experienced in playing in all competitions like this anyway. So it's kind of nothing new, but off the back of a World Cup year, who knows? It might be drastically different, because we've not seen any, I guess, fallout from the World Cup that as much just yet. I think maybe in February, early March, you might see some of those people fading away. But Aussie, do you agree with what G was saying and what Mbiza said in the comment section? Or do you have a different angle or anything else to add about that?
No, look, I completely agree with G. But the thing that people need to understand, is, right, we are top of the league, right? Our defensive record is second to only Newcastle. Okay, they're third. Our attacking record is second to Manchester City. Okay, they're second. You combine that, you get the best team in the league. Facts. Yeah? Simply, Manchester City could not break down Newcastle, drew 3-3. Man United had trouble at Newcastle and drew as well. Now, Liverpool, I know, beat them, but everyone's beaten Liverpool because we've beat them too. When you play a team, right, that plays a low block to the extent where they throw 3 defenders on your wingers at a time. Watch the game. I watch every game. I analyze the defense. So when I watched them defending, and I was doing a live on Insta, I was like, I am in awe of their defense. They are in perfect formation. It's going to be impossible to break this down. Okay, this is wonderful from Newcastle. And to say that people, oh, you know what? Mikel Arteta is tactically inept. I'm not an Arteta in fan, right? But I guarantee you, anyone that says that, no, I'm not. But let me tell you one thing, right? I'm not Arteta in, Arteta out. I just want the right thing for this club. I want to see this club propel. I don't care if it's Krusty the Clown, Jose Mourinho, me, you, or G running this club, as long as we win. Yeah, I want people to come with the same energy on all aspects. Granit Xhaka was one of the worst midfielders we ever had. Swear. And this season, Granit Xhaka is the best midfielder that we've got. Yeah, I'm impressed.
And as hard as that's been to admit, those are the facts.
And that's me saying it.
Yeah.
I hammer him, right? Now, everyone is praising him and saying, you know what? Good turnaround for Xhaka. Now, with the same energy, you like the football you're seeing, right? Kieran Tierney's on the bench and Zinchenko's playing in his position, yeah? And we still haven't considered that many goals. You need to have the same energy when it comes to the manager. Yeah. I'm not saying I want Allegri. I wanted Allegri. But I've got to give Mikel Arteta credit like I gave Granit Xhaka credit. Plain and simple. We gotta open our eyes that when someone is doing well, you're not proven wrong. You can say you're proving me wrong. Now at the end of the season, if he gets you your Champions League, then what are you going to say? Are you going to look for negativity or positivity? Figure it out. And
this is the thing, Aussie, and you both hit on some really good points. Like Arsenal fans, yeah. Arsenal fans think that I care if a player like, for example, Nketiah ends up banging in 12 Premier League goals. I've rinsed Nketiah for season upon season. Yep. Do you think I'm going to be crying that I got it wrong about it?
No, you're going to come out and say, yes.
I'm saying, well done, Eddie. Finally, you shut me up. You shut man up.
There's a difference, though. Some people are fixated with being right. And
there you go.
And that is the issue.
There you go.
This is it.
There you go.
There's a big difference, because I feel like, and that's what I feel like for a lot of us Arsenal fans. I know I can speak for myself. I know I can even speak for you two. Like nothing we say is ever agenda driven.
Yeah.
So it's our opinion, it's our perception, it's our perspective. It's like what we see, and it's okay for that to be different. Because if everybody thought the same,
then it wouldn't be fun. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like you said, I don't understand. It's like people will come at me with something and say, "Oh, but you said this," and I went, "Yeah, I did at the time because that's what I thought." It's not that deep for me. Like 100%. I'm glad I'm wrong. It benefits Arsenal Football Club. What's your problem?
Yeah, literally. But you said that Odegaard wasn't better than Maddison. So why are you cheering him on now? I'm like, because he plays for Arsenal and he's doing well for Arsenal. Do you want me to boo him because he's doing well? I don't get it. I don't get it.
You see,
it's weird.
In content creators, and the problem with content creators is they think that once they start doing stuff on YouTube, they know it all. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I've never known it all, never know it all. And the reason why I'll never know it all is because I'm not that smart. But you know what? Because I can admit it, then I can sit down with Gene, I can sit down with Nigel, I can sit down with Kasana, I can sit down with Craig, I can sit down with all you guys and take something away. And you know what? I'm better for it and you can do the same, and we will better ourselves that way. Yep. But if you want to be an arrogant pig, and you don't want to fucking admit to nothing, try it in boxing, see what happens to you. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt bad.
On that note, as he's been quite on fire in the comment section today, Mbizo, I do have a question for you.
I've got him. Can I just touch on him for 1 sec?
Okay.
Just one thing.
Do you want me to read out his comments first for you?
Go for it.
Yeah, okay. So just wait, Aussie. Don't lose the plot. Xhaka and Martinelli were shocking. Martinelli will be a decent option for depth. Y'all got to get a better wing forward.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something about Arsenal Football Club. Are you ready for this one? It's shocking. And guess what? It's very similar to our squad in 2000. Okay. Our right wing has scored goals. Our strikers have scored goals. Our left wing has scored goals. Our attacking midfielder has scored goals. Our number 8 has scored goals. Our number 6 has scored goals. Our left back has scored goals. Our centre back pairings have both scored goals. The only players that haven't fucking scored goals are Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale. If you want, I'll grab Aaron Ramsdale. I'll put him up front. And you know what? He might score a goal too. When you spread goals out amongst the whole squad, guess what happens? You don't have a superstar. You have a super team. Aubameyang got the golden boot, my friend. What did you get for that? 8th?
Real talk. That's real talk.
I don't want to score.
Is Mbizo a Gooner?
Nah. He's a Crystal Palace fan. Big him up, though, man.
Oh, big up Vieira.
Big him up.
Don't
do that.
Big up
Crystal Palace. There's one thing I like about
one of the
Crystal
most
Palace.
Genuine, purest football fans out there.
Palace. One thing about Palace is that they are very structured. When they get into their positions, they're very structured. The Vieira has really got them in. He just needs
100%. I'm disappointed with what happened in the second half against Spurs, but Mbizo, we'll talk about that on Monday's show, my brother. We'll talk about that. But what I would say, because you lot have basically kind of summed up the Newcastle game for me. But what I wanted to add is a couple of things that I learned from that game. Number one, it proves that obviously teams are now respecting us more. It's not as free as the first few games of the season. We're like, oh, it's Arsenal, we can get something out of them by bullying them and blah, blah, blah. Things have changed a little bit. Number two, it also showed me that our bench ain't really shit right now. Let's be honest. Like our bench, and not only I think that, Arteta obviously thinks that, because if not, he would have drawn for someone other than Tomiyasu when we were in desperate need of the goal. And for that's why at the end of that game, as much as I was disappointed with a point, because no one's ever happy to drop points at home, especially when you're off a 100% record. I wasn't like losing my head, but I was disappointed, obviously, naturally. But I was kind of excited as well, because the fact that Arteta also doesn't believe in that bench, in the back of my mind, that made me believe, do you know what? That means we must be bringing some players in. Do you get me? Like, we must be, because he's basically saying, hey, Kroenke, look, man, I can't use these, man. This window's open. Let's go and do some business. And that segues us nicely into what I wanted to talk about next, because if we are going to really push City all the way, we need depth. It's clear to see. City last night, they needed a goal. They bring on 160 million worth of talent. They get and those two players set up the only goal.
But you know what? They beat Chelsea the same fashion we did. We just beat them earlier. So what was the scoreline with Chelsea and City?
For sure.
And we didn't need to do that. So
no, 100%, which obviously shows that, and we're still top of the league, which still shows that we're the best team currently in the league. But the reason why maybe there is some doubters, including myself, is because of that depth and because when a team sets up like Newcastle did, I want to have an option off the bench. I want to be like,
City,
okay.
Remember, the City played City them, and they drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I hear you, bro. But this is what
they've got that depth. They've got the depth, and I'd love to have that depth. But the
difference is City were chasing the game, and that depth helped them get the game back. Do you get what I'm saying? We were neck and neck, and we just needed something different from the bench. And if we had something, we could have maybe got a result from that game. And that's what's going to take us from securing a Champions League place to pushing City all the way. That's why I believe we're definitely 100% comfortable in the Champions League. But if we want to push them all the way, those little 2 or 3 maybe options off the bench are needed, bro.
I think we need the depth to sustain. I think to sustain this run, we need to have more off the bench. We definitely have to make signings. We needed to make signings, we needed to make 3 signings the last transfer window, 3 others. But to be perfectly honest, I look at our performances, and I'm going to look at them at City, and I'm looking at Man United. I'm going to look at City. I'm going to look at Arsenal. I'm going to look at the teams we've played. They beat Chelsea 1-0. We beat Chelsea 1-0. They conceded 3 goals against Newcastle. We strangled the shit out of them. We controlled Newcastle like you wouldn't believe. They couldn't do nothing, and to the point where they defended for their lives. Whether it's against Manchester City, they were attacking them. Do you get what I'm saying? Look at the way Newcastle went up to Manchester City. Look at the way they came at us. They just went, you know what? This is going to go so bad. This is going to go so bad. And it would be nice to have. That
shows me, and it's clear to see that we have a better defense than Manchester City. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, they concede 2 regular. Like literally, if you look like they concede nearly all the time, and but they have better variety of attacking options. That's where they beat us, and they have a better variety. They can bring something different on. Do you get what I'm saying? So one player that's on the tip of every Arsenal fan's tongue on every report right now is Mudryk. Mykhailo Mudryk. That's what I keep hearing every single morning. The same way as was with a different player last summer, and another player and another player. But big up, who was? Someone said they were calling him from Charlotte in America. So big up our American followers. Yeah, locked in, locked on. Big up DWTT in the building. Ilias says that Arsenal are not winning the league. We never said they're winning the league either. No, so we didn't say that. We kind of agree on that.
Dude, we never. Not one Arsenal fan was getting ready and putting a seatbelt on, saying this is a season we're going to challenge. None of us were, and we're still not saying it.
These rival fans are moving shook,
bruv. So mad. And we're gonna get into settings. That just makes me excited. Do you know when I knew all rival fans were shook about us? This was like maybe 3 games in, and they were already saying stuff like,
Yeah.
You wait till Arsenal get an injury and see what happens then. Why are you waiting until we get an injury? Is it because you're scared of our starting 11? Is it because you're scared of our starting 11?
Wait till they play someone serious. Remember that one?
We
did.
Man.
Even after the World Cup, they said, even after the World Cup, it was like, okay, after the World Cup, come Christmas, it'll come down with the Christmas tree and the New Year.
Yeah.
And two games in, we're still 5 points clear.
Three games in, bro. Even. Let's call it right.
So,
and do you know why that is? Before we go into the Mudryk and the transfer stuff, why that is because we have a Don Dada of a manager. And I'm going to set it straight. I wasn't behind Arteta at the start, I'll be honest. I was shocked. I thought we needed experience. But I said, you know what? Let's see what they see. He wins the FA Cup, buys him some time for me. When it buys him that next season for me personally, I was like, okay, let's see what he's going to do. The Villarreal game, I'm not going to lie to you, when I saw him play Smith Rowe, false nine, we went out. I was definitely Arteta out. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But the summer going into last season, I made a decision. Do you know what? Because the way he ignored, all these different players that the fans wanted us to sign last summer, he just ignored all that and said, you know what? I want these guys, no matter what you lot are saying, I want these guys. They're my players. And I was like, do you know what? He must be confident and see something for him to ignore all the shit we were saying and just go tunnel vision on his plan. So I was like, I'm going to get behind this because obviously he believes in it, the board are behind it, but I just got to start setting my expectations differently because I looked at Arteta differently to I'd look at Ancelotti if he was our coach or a Klopp or something. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, do you know what? What do I expect this manager's capabilities of last season? Last season, I said top 6 because that's what I expected of his talent base and our squad.
Yeah.
So I said this season, I wanted us to guarantee top 4. I don't want it to be a struggle like last year.
And Europa League.
Guarantee. I didn't say that, but
I said that, and you're.
I remember you said
you're in.
You said that, and now I'm all in. So do you know what I'm saying? And this, like, what you got? Let's talk about Mudryk, like, because I'm hearing 88 million. Are you ready to? If we have 88 million available in January, are you ready to put that all in on Mudryk?
Nah, hell no. Everyone's talking about squad depth, right? How much squad depth are you going to get from one winger? And you know what everyone's going to say? I know what they're going to say. Get ready. If we get Mudryk, Gabriel can play number 9. Okay, cool. Gabriel can play number 9. How many times has he played number 9 for Arsenal? I can count on one hand. So you're willing to take your Martinelli, who scored 7 goals and probably got 2 or 3 assists this season in the Premier League, throw him into the middle of the park because you don't have a decent striker. Gamble that so Mudryk can play left wing. Does that make sense to you? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. We got problems in the midfield.
Yeah, go on.
We got problems in the midfield. We need a winger and we need a striker. We need 3 players.
I think that's for me. That the maximum for me I expect from would be a 3, but we're Arsenal, so I don't mind settling for 2, innit? Sorry, you were going to say 2,
but we need 3.
You know what it is with me. Yeah, I'm pretty chilled, man, about the whole transfer window and transfer market because I tell you why. Yeah, it's like we're in a. One of my good friends always says to me, strengthen from a position of strength. So right now, like I don't really understand the meltdowns, happening online because we're in a really good position where we are in terms of our season. And I think going into this window, I think it's clear from the things Arteta said, from the fact that he hasn't reached for his bench against Newcastle. It's clear. Everybody knows. It's no secret. We need players. So I strongly believe we're going to get the players. But the reason why I'm pretty chilled is because, don't get me wrong, Arteta has made and Edu have made some howlers. And when I say howlers, just some players that have not necessarily worked. But I'm old enough and mature enough to know that every transfer, there is a potential risk involved, Some transfers, just like anything, some will pay off, some won't. It happens. Like Chelsea spent 100 million on Lukaku. He's back on loan. You know what I mean? It's like, it happens, man. There's never a guarantee with a transfer. So I'm in a position now where, based on last summer, like you and Niger, I trust Arsenal's Mikel Arteta, Edu, talent ID, and their recruitment. I trust it. I think they've got enough transfers right at the moment to have some leverage in the bank in terms of my trust. So for me, I think Mudryk is a fantastic young player. I think he's got great ability. I think he's got a very high ceiling. Is he worth 88 million? Hell no. But nobody in this current market is worth what the fee that they actually go for. So we have a choice as a club is, do we pay the money they want or do we not? I don't think Arsenal will meet their valuation. And I respect the fact that Arsenal won't meet their valuation. But what I do think will happen is I think Shakhtar will come down in their valuation. And I think Arsenal will get this deal done before the end of the window. I strongly believe that.
Okay.
The player has no interest in going to Chelsea. Like if he wanted to go to Chelsea, he wouldn't be liking Arsenal on all these socials,
showing us him watching us playing games and all that. Yeah.
Like, I just don't see it. I just think this is a deal that's in Arsenal hands. If we pay up the money, we get the deal done. But I also believe if we don't pay up the money, Shakhtar will come down and the deal eventually gets done. But to answer your question in a nutshell, I'm not paying the 88 million because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think he's worth 88 million. You just need to look at the transfer fee of Gakpo from PSV to Liverpool. It was almost half that. And for me, he's been doing
done a lot more
in a better league, and he's just banged in 3-4 goals in the World Cup. So
in the World Cup.
Like, nah. 88 million,
Shakhtar on a mad
88 million is madness, man.
I'm going to get into some of the comments real quick, and I'm going to continue with the Mudryk talk. That's what's missing for Arsenal, a little depth, and you really feel it when subs to change the game are required, but not far off from being a deep squad. I agree with that. We need 2 or 3 players, and our squad looks completely different.
ESR is also coming back, so
100%. We have 0 difference makers on the bench right now.
It's a completely different bench.
Exactly. 2-3 players added to the squad with what we got. We're a problem, bro. Vieira and Marquinhos were on the bench and were not used as an option. Why did we bring them in? I was quite curious not to have seen at least a Vieira. Marquinhos not so much so.
I think Vieira would have been easy
like
to bump
the
off the
Wolves
ball.
game that Vieira came on.
I think you saw Newcastle
against
being
that
physical.
sort of physicality, maybe.
Yeah, he's just going to get bashed.
It was a risk.
He's going to be going. If you look at the Newcastle players going, "Hey, go, mate, just take the ball."
Potentially, but did you not think about this potential other option? I thought, why didn't he consider trying the whole Zinchenko for Xhaka in midfield and bringing on Tierney? I was a bit shocked he didn't even try it because I've not seen Zinchenko really do that midfield role that we were told he might be used in certain games. I wouldn't have minded of seeing that because Xhaka, although as Aussie said, he's been our most consistent player this season. That was probably his worst game this season, to be fair. And we maybe needed something a bit different. So just saw some reports that the Ukrainians want more than what was paid for Anthony. These big clubs are ruining the market. Neither are worth the amount. 100%,
stupid. You're right, mate. That's just silly, mate.
It's spot on.
They're trying to make as much as they can, mate.
Okay, look at Arteta is starting to convince me for sure. Big up. Not just the football, but also the way the players interact with him and each other. They evidently trust him. Locker room solid. I second that, man. 100%, man. 100%. Big up Visa. Big up football capital in the building. Coming to look up in the league again. Big up my guy. Lucas says Mudryk 88 million, not for me. And okay, let's Luca. I think we're all at the level where we agree he's a talent. I don't know enough about him to agree with what the Brighton manager was saying. He could be a Ballon d'Or winner and all that. I'm not going to be one of those fans that say, "Oh, I've been watching Mudryk. He's a world." Like I've seen him play. Exactly. I've seen two 90-minute games, and they were both in the Champions League of Mudryk. Let's be honest. And I didn't watch them live. I watched them on the reruns after because I was watching proper games when their game was on. Do you get what I'm saying?
I love it. Proper games. Man said proper games.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So, and the YouTube stuff looks sick. I like his acceleration. He looks like he can carry the ball against the. I saw some of the stadiums he was playing in as well, so that I did put that into consideration. But with that being said, he's a talented boy. People wouldn't be talking about him if he wasn't as talented. If they do get the price down to 60 million, guys, are you taking that? Are you taking that in this current market?
No.
What are you saying, G?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right, no problem. So what, like, why
how much money he's got? See if he can throw someone in the kick. You're gonna be. This guy's making the real coin now. You know what I mean? 60 mil's too much. It's too much.
So how much realistic? Obviously, okay. I want you to look at don't think of it just as think of it from today's market, his talent and his sell-on value. Like think of all those things. How much would you pay? How much would you pay for a Mudryk
right now?
Thinking of the market where we're in.
No, what I'm willing to pay, not what they want.
In this market,
I wouldn't go over 50.
Sorry about that.
I wouldn't. Okay. I would not go over 50. And the reason why is it's unproven player. We all thought Pepe was going to be the next, thing, and Pepe struggled in this league. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be like Pepe, but there's a chance that you get a player in like this and he struggles. Now, everybody wants a new shiny toy, okay? And I know that because this is like FIFA settings. So let's get Mudryk because he's popular. It's trending. You got to look at the squad. Let's all, as Arsenal fans, look at our squad. We all worried about Thomas Partey getting injured. Is Mudryk going to fix that? No.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, are you willing to spend 70 million on Mudryk? No, I'm not, because I have more problems to worry about. So I think Mudryk to Arsenal, as nice as it would be more fitting if you went to City because they've got more depth. They can afford to have a player like Mudryk hanging around on the bench. We need a player. We need a few players. And if Partey gets injured, it's going to be horrible to see what happens to our midfield. So I wouldn't pay more than 50 million for Mudryk because I still need to spend money on a midfielder. That's just me.
No, I hear it.
Midfielder.
Are you at the same place? So was 60 million too much for you, G, or would you not mind?
You know what it is? It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's a hard one. I mean, in terms of, I think anything above, I agree with Aussie Gooner. I think anything above 50 million, I think is ridiculous for Mudryk. However, if Arsenal slap down 70, 80 million, I mean, I'd raise an eyebrow, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
No, I hear. And do you know what my issue with the fee is? And I see where you're coming from, and I'm kind of in the middle because if Arsenal tell me they're going to spend 70, 80 million on Mudryk, but they're still going to guarantee me a DM cover guarantee.
Oh, fuck. Well, that's different. That's different.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
I'm okay with that.
I don't give a damn. But if they're trying to go say, we spent 80 million on a big player and then we don't get anyone else in, that's when I start giving them side eye.
And the thing is, are we really going to do that? That's the issue,
We're going to spend 100 million.
Yeah.
Are we going to spend 110 million in January?
Good luck with
it's all mad, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It's Arsenal at the end of the day. Like, we know our club, guys. Like, we all know if we spend 88 million on Mudryk, we all know that's it. We're shutting up shop. We might bring back Balogun on loan. That's about it, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm telling you right now.
And I'd rather he stays on loan, to be honest.
The vibe I have is I don't think we're getting a midfielder in January.
Because we ain't been linked with nobody. I had no whispers about no one.
I reckon they're gonna, and this is just a hunch of mine. I reckon that just from little things I've seen and heard and stuff, I think they're gonna rely on the fact that Partey can stay fit, which I think is a massive risk.
Gamble.
You've got El Neni in there, and I think it's a case of very similar to last January in that I do believe Arsenal. I do believe that we were in for players, but I know people say that January is an excuse where they say it's a difficult market, you can't get players, but realistically it is. Like, it is difficult. Like, clubs are going to be far more reluctant to let go of their players in January than they are, in the summer. Just look at Declan Rice for an example. If you approached West Ham for Declan Rice now, they wouldn't even reply. Because they're 17th in the league. They're on the verge of potentially going into the relegation zone. Declan Rice is a key player. Come the summer, they could be in the European places. They have time to find a replacement.
Hey, do you reckon? European places?
100%. I think clubs are going to be so much more. Clubs are going to be so much more open to selling their players in the summer than they are in January.
No, for sure.
100%. So I don't think we're going to get the midfielder. I think we're going to target the forward line. I think
the Mudryk and Felix, them things there.
Yeah, I think it's a huge mistake. Felix. But
we're going to talk about that next.
We'll do. At the same time, if we sign Mudryk and Felix, come on now. We're gonna be happy though.
All right, cool. Okay, cool. So let's go into that because Lucas said with the price being quoted for Mudryk, would you rather maybe take a midfielder and Felix on loan to the end of the season? First of all, Aussie, lead that, and then let me know what you think about Felix after.
Okay, so I'd take a midfielder. I wouldn't take Joao Felix.
Why? What's your issue with Joao?
Because my boy there, Football Capital, said it. 21 million loan deal package. No thanks. For Felix. You guys want to spend 21 mil on Joao Felix. And he's not a 9. He's a false 9. So get it right, guys. You're not playing FIFA anymore, and it says ST, and you think he's a striker. Watch him. He's a false 9. Right? He's not Jesus, and he's not as quick. So let's grab Joao Felix, put him back on the shelf, and let's
leave him there.
Leave him there. He ain't good enough.
No one is paying Atletico 21 million for 6
Keep
months.
that. Keep him. Keep him. You can have him, bro.
You see me and this Joao. I don't like Joao Felix personally. Like, even
I'm with you, my man.
I'm like, as much as people are getting gassed, and we're gonna come to you, because I think you might have a couple of different things to say about it.
He's gonna be like, Joao Felix, my guy.
But this is my issue with Joao Felix. This is my issue about Joao Felix. Yeah, I believe he's a talent, and he showed it in the Portuguese league. He's clearly a talented player. I'm just frustrated after that big amount of money that Atletico bought him for. In 2.5 years, his game has not evolved, bro. His game has not raised the level. And not even an Atletico Madrid fan could tell me 3 games in a row that this boy has played well. Not even an Atletico Madrid fan. And I don't watch La Liga like that since Ronaldo left, because I like the challenge between him and Messi. I've not watched it as much as I used to.
Oh, yeah.
But I know for a fact, no La Liga fan on this show in the comments whatever can tell me 3 games in a row that Joao Felix had a good game. You lot saw a little cameo 20-minute in the World Cup thinking, 120 million is the full package for this guy in the summer if it does go well. Like, I'm sorry, it's too much of a risk for me. Make me smile at the prospect of getting Joao Felix. Try and make me smile, I beg you.
G's gonna make this used car sound really good.
You know what it is with Felix, Literally, with Felix, Felix is a very, very good footballer, exceptionally gifted footballer. What you have to understand is, I think you've got to kind of flip it. 100%. Felix when he went to Atletico Madrid, absolute baller. But playing for Simeone is like trying to grow a plant with no light. It's literally not going to grow. Felix is an expressive player. He's a creative player. He's a skillful player. That's not going to work in Simeone's setup. Simeone's setup is completely different to that. And a player like Felix, I don't even know why they signed him, because he's not a Simeone type player. I'm not sure if he came before or after.
No.
But I don't even know why he's there. And I think that's the reason why he's leaving. Also, what you got to think about is, I think football, and we should know that now with Arteta, is that a lot of it is about the system. If you look at the way Xhaka has transformed from a player, previous seasons to what he's doing now in number 8, I trust that if Arteta sees Felix as a player that can come in and work in his system, I trust that he will come in and absolutely smash it. Because I think what you've got is, with Simeone and Atletico Madrid and Felix, you've got, Square trying to put it in a round hole. It just doesn't work. Atletico Madrid and Simeone don't play the expressive, expansive, creative football where Felix will thrive. You just need to watch Felix during his cameo roles in the World Cup. Portugal didn't have the best World Cup. They didn't go that far. But when you saw him play, he performed better in a couple of games for Portugal than he's done for as long as I can remember for Atletico Madrid.
I hear that.
I hear that. So I honestly believe that. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna cry if we don't sign him, and I'm not gonna lose my crap if we do. But at the same time, I honestly believe that with the way we play football and how watertight the system is this season, I honestly feel like if somebody like Felix came into this Arsenal team, I think he would excel. I really do. But I'm not paying no 21 million for 6 months. Not exactly. I'll stick with Eddie.
Yeah, Felix is like an Alfa Romeo. It's really good when it's gone, but when is it going to be gone? No, man, that Fiat. And that's the thing for me, like all this chit chat. Oh, we'll get him on loan. He'll be awesome. It's like, it ain't no guarantee, boys. He's a false 9. But look, And I'm sorry, but look, like, I don't know if that's mine. Can you guys hear that?
I can hear it. I don't know whose it is though.
Is that
Hopefully
me?
it's I don't know. Can't be me. This is a brand new mic. If it's fucking broken,
Is it still there?
no, it's gone.
I think it's me then.
Yeah, it's gone.
I think we do need attacking options, but I think we need someone who can play on the wing, someone who can try and transition into a striker's role as well, double up. I think we need that
specific comment about the wing. That's why Joao Felix is not as enticing for me, because in the Premier League, I don't want to see Joao Felix anywhere near a wing position.
No,
he will get absolutely eaten up.
He wouldn't play there.
Yeah, he has to be in the center.
Exactly. He could potentially do a false nine, but when Jesus comes back, what does he do? We've got 120 million guy on the bench.
Yeah. Let's go change tires, man.
And also, if you sign Joao Felix now, also what you're saying is like once he gets up to speed and Jesus is not back, what are you going to do? You're going to drop Eddie, who's got 2 in 3. And even against Newcastle, I thought he was one of our better performers.
He was.
He played really well. So I'm not sure there's a lot of truth in the whole Felix thing. It might be that it's absolute nonsense, or it might even be trying to send a message to Shakhtar and Mudryk's team.
Maybe
a bit of a smoke screen. I can't see it.
I personally think we are talking to the boy.
Yeah.
I reckon we are, but I just think everyone at Arsenal is just laughing at what Atletico are asking for. Yeah. I think come deadline day, Atletico will probably be a little bit more flexible because they don't want him to stay in January. They really want him to go. So
the versatility of him, he could come in and play LCM,
In the Premier League, bro. He's not Silva, bro. He's not Silva.
He could come in and play LCM.
Ronaldo Silva. He ain't that guy.
I reckon he could.
But let's get into some of the comments because they're lively. Big up and Bezo. I love how, I don't know, it's like me. Everyone not from Australia only has ever heard of Crocodile Dundee. So they always
You want to see a knife? I'll show you a knife.
I know Steve Irwin as well. Steve Irwin and Crocodile Dundee. But Visa agrees with
Steve Irwin.
What's it called? He agrees with you, Croc. 60 million for Ukrainian. What's the pedigree? Like it don't make any sense. Like as much of a talent as he is, it doesn't make any sense. We still got Pepe, and this man's better. That man is better than him. If he drops his pants for us and he's not a real, I'm gonna read that.
Big's gonna get in a bit. I like that one. Getting a bit dirty.
Yeah, that one. I won't pay more than Gakpo for the deal. To be honest, and that is so reasonable as well.
Yeah,
obviously, I know
realistic.
What's going on in Ukraine, and that there's definitely money needed in the country. But don't try and take the piss, man. Don't. Take the piss.
Exactly.
Are there any players who would play behind Partey out there in the window? Most seem like projects who would be ready in 1 to 2 years from now. Do you know what? This is what I'm not going to lie about this comment, and this is interesting from DWTT.
Yeah, good point.
What I need, I just need someone better than El Neni, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because he's definitely not going to be. As a DM though.
Guy.
As a DM though.
Okay, now listen to this. He's saying as a DM, defensively, Yuri Tielemans is solid. Okay, you look at
he's just all right, bro.
No. You look at Bissouma and everyone was on Bissouma. Okay, compare Bissouma's stats to Tielemans' stats last season. I watched Tielemans and then I saw Bissouma's stats. They ain't that fucking much different in the defensive line and tackles. He's a decent midfielder. He can sit back. He can come forward. I would love to have Xhaka and Tielemans side by side, and I reckon it would work. And you know what? He's only got 6 months. And you know what? We could get him now because he wants Arsenal. And you know he's a midfielder.
But do you know how funny that is? We could actually get Trossard, Tielemans, Zaha.
Trossard
for 60 mil collectively.
Trossard,
we're talking about paying 88 million for freaking Mudryk.
Trossard. I would take Trossard for sure. Imagine having Trossard come off the bench. You know when they say we want someone off the bench? Imagine having Trossard come off the bench.
I think we might have to
be the issue with like
when you ban BX Gooner from the channel after this comment.
When you have a very strong first 11, these are the type of issues that you're really going to start to get, because if you look at Spurs, we'll laugh at Spurs and rightly so. But when you look at over the years and over the seasons, how much they've struggled to get a second choice to Kane. and it's simply because like City can do it and Chelsea can do it somewhat because they literally are throwing 200, 250, 300,000 pounds at players that are going to be rocking their bench. We're not going to be doing that. Tottenham can't do that. So when you look at it, you know, if most players looking at this Arsenal team now, as much as we are a very attractive club to come for because we're top of the league. We're going to be in the Champions League. We seem on the trajectory in the right direction. The problem is if you're a player and you come into this Arsenal side, let's think about it. Yeah, you know you're rocking bench, or you know you're not going to be getting straight into this first team. So I know if I was a number 6, I'd be thinking, go there and compete with who? Partey. Hey, I want to go somewhere and get game time because the reality is right now, there are very few players in the world, if any, that will come into Arsenal's first 11 now in the number 6 position and only get game time when it's FA Cup, 75th minute when we've already wrapped up the game, or Europa League time. Otherwise, Partey's starting. So if Partey does stay fit till the end of the season, you're rocking bench, bro.
Yeah, it's not as
it's not easy. It's not an easy.
That's a very good point because that's when the attraction of Arsenal is not there anymore. It's like, well, if I'm with City, there's a chance I'm going to win. You know, I'm going to win titles. I'm going to win Champions League. With Arsenal, there's no guarantee of this. And now I'm going to be rocking their bench.
There's a chance, though. There's a chance.
There's a chance, but it's not as clear as them. And so that is got a good point there.
That's a big point. But Mbizo has the answers when it comes to a midfielder. You want a midfielder, go find an African in France. Simple. Wherever his passport is, you can't. And let's be honest, there is going to be that is a move right there. And
that's the pedigree. That's the pedigree,
bro. They've got an abundance in France, and we need to catch them now before they go and play for France as well. So sneak them in. That to be honest, the French league is the best market for a hard-working DM. African/French, and all them other slashes. So I think we need to go into the Ligue 1 market to find some up-and-coming talent who maybe he don't mind playing second fiddle. And if you look at Partey's injuries, it's quite high. So the chance of him playing are high. I'm sure that was a part of the conversation with Zinchenko with Tierney, because Tierney was a mainstay, but Zinchenko still came as a what's it called, a Premier League winner. He was rotational. He must have known, okay, I'm probably going to get chances with Tierney. And if I get enough chances, I'll take his place. And look what's happened, isn't it? Even though I don't agree with it, but that's for another stream. Let's get into some of the comments. Felix on fraud alert. I agree with that.
I agree with that.
That's how Edu works. You don't hear any links and bam, sign the player. I hope that's what happens with the midfielder. He just signed some up-and-coming African or Brazilian player, some out of nowhere. I don't mind. Zaha and a midfielder. You guys know how I feel about Zaha. One last hurrah. People think I care if Zaha performs well for 6 months and wins us the league and he doesn't play well next year. I do not care. If he wins us a league title, he will go down as a folklore hero, mate. We want it. We freaking want it. I don't care. Get him in. United are stupid. Do you know what? United probably. They might. Man. If any team's stupid enough to pay that money for Joao Felix, it's United, guy.
But can I say one thing?
I don't think they will,
No, because since their new managers come in, look at the moves they're making. They're making pretty smart moves. Now, I know Anthony, he hit the ground running. He's hit a stumbling
90
block.
90 million for Anthony. They ruined the market for us, bro.
Yeah, but he's hit a stumbling block, right? But every other player that this guy signed have been decent, right? So I don't reckon he probably look at it and just say, I don't think you do it. It just doesn't look like their manager. It's his kind of move. So I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't reckon they'll do it, man. I don't think United are.
I think Joao Felix will definitely leave this window. I think, if you look at the stuff online, like what's kind of being reported, I think, it seems like there's a complete breakdown in relationship between him and Simeone, which is the kind of reason why, he's leaving the club. But I just don't think it's realistic, to expect a club to, pay 21 million for a 6-month loan fee. You know, if you, I think if you lower those like kind of, you know, fees and wages to somewhere around the kind of ballpark figure of 5 million or so, I think clubs might say, yeah, they might take a punt on it. And I think Arsenal, in the position we're in, we might be tempted to do it. But 21 million for 6 months is just insane, man. It's just absolutely insane.
We need to get rid of a player, but you're really going to pay for him. No, how about you stick with him? We really don't want him. I think a fair figure for Joao Felix is anywhere between 8 to maybe 10 million.
Yeah.
And that would be the maximum. Like I'm talking top dollar you'd pay for the loan deal for 6 months. Apart from that, I wouldn't waste my time with him. And to be honest, I'm not. When I heard the rumors, I'll be honest with you guys and everyone in the chat, I was like, what the hell are we going to do with him?
Yeah.
I'm not that certain he's going to be a good fit. You know what I mean? And I know Nketiah is not a good enough number 2 for Jesus, right? I know he's not. But it's working.
Yeah, you can see you can see it.
It's working somewhat, right? And then I'm not guaranteed Felix is going to come in and do the work that I need him to do. And then what? I have this £9 million player sitting on his ass, right? And collecting wages, dropping the morale of all these other players who are looking, going, they got this guy on loan. He's getting paid more than us, and he's not doing anything. So that's the other thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
And you know what the other thing is about the loan? Like, don't get me wrong. I do think we need to make, you know, look at opportunities in the market and sometimes make more, you know, out of the loan system. Because I think, you know, if you look at what we're doing externally with the loan system, it's very good. I don't remember or recall us having many successful loan signings, bringing them into the club. And Odegaard, I still think he was, for me,
it wasn't impressed with the loan, to be honest.
Yeah, after his loan, I didn't want him permanently. I was fully in the Madison side.
I hate Madison.
I didn't want Odegaard at all. But I think with regards like Joao Felix, I'd be happy if he came. I would, because for me, it's an additional player and it's an additional offensive player. I still think we're way too light in that area of the pitch. However, I don't want, and I said this previously, even when Odegaard came, and in the end it worked out all right, but I don't want any player coming to our club unless we have an option to purchase. I'm not talking about an obligation, but I want an option, because if a player comes into I remember saying this on a stream when Odegaard was there and he had a good game, and I was like, I don't even want to like him. I don't even want to enjoy him play, because he's
there's no option to buy. Yeah, there's no option to buy.
We're just developing. Yeah. It's like all these, you know, Rems in France and Marseille. Yeah, okay, you might be enjoying Balogun and Tavares, but guess what? They're coming back. And we're going to make money off them. So thank you very much. So for me, I am not massively keen on bringing in players on the loan system unless we have an option to buy. So if Felix comes in as an extra body, it wouldn't necessarily be my first choice, but I'd be happy. At the same time, I want an option, because the chances are he comes in and he absolutely, you know, performs. We then send him back to Atletico Madrid so they can like double his price.
I hear you, man. It's a bit of a mad one. And
I'm not here. We're no feeder club, man. Forget that.
The Felix thing,
option to buy Joao Felix, and you got Jesus on the bench. I don't know.
To be honest, the Joao Felix
for settings
isn't the worst.
For settings.
Do
you know what? I hear what G's saying, because like, I know you think when Arteta sees something in a player, he sees signing a player. Yeah, and I hear that as well. It's just the figures that they're talking, and I don't want to be a finance guy, but it's the history of my club, bro. We watch the finances. So if I'm hearing Joao Felix, I'm thinking that means maybe we don't do something else, and we don't do this. So it's so hard for me to get around a 21 million loan fee for 6 months, and then maybe adding an extra 80 million later to complete the signing of this guy. Like, it just doesn't sit that well with me just yet. So with Joao Felix, if you told me we got Mudryk and Joao Felix and a DM, being greedy, I wouldn't mind it. If you told me we got a DM,
I'd have to tell you to wake up.
Of course. If you got me a DM and Joao Felix, I wouldn't be over the moon about it, but I'd be okay with it. If you got me a winger and a DM and Joao Felix ain't in the equation, I'll be super ecstatic about that more than anything.
Yeah.
Big up the comment section before we wrap up the show and talk about the Oxford game. Looks like G's a big. They've got a lot of fans in. G's got a lot of fans in the comment section right now.
Hey, man, I had a cup of tea this morning, man. I'm all good.
I'll see if I can send that on to you, Visa. Who's the Aussie bloke with you? Big up the Aussie Gooner. Big up the sports capital. Tried it, man. Emmy Baba says Mudryk is overpriced. I don't see the deal coming to reality. I think the deal might happen, but I definitely don't see it for the prices that they're quoting. I don't know. Football Capital. Who are you talking about in terms of the box to box?
He must be talking about.
He's talking about Yuri.
I think it's like I think he's talking about Tielemans. Yuri.
And Biza likes Tielemans for us.
Yeah,
G smiling at the gardening comment. Yeah, he definitely was. That's why we need to secure the first title to continue to attract quality. I saw the comment here. Salim Zak said this comment. I heard this today. He said, "What do you think about Lozano of Napoli?" 3 years ago, yeah, I'm with it. Like,
I don't know much about him.
Do you know what I'm saying? He's not pushed on since the Napoli move enough for me. Even though Napoli are doing really, really well, but when they talk about Napoli, it's Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia they talk about. They don't talk about.
This is what I'm saying. I was gonna say that. If we're gonna go for any winger, we got to go for the brother at Napoli, fam.
Yeah, I don't know if I even pronounced his name right, but you got the player I was talking about.
That's why I said the brother from Napoli.
The brother from Napoli.
The brother from Napoli. I was like, I should have done
really good. That really good.
I didn't even try to say that.
The Georgian brother from Napoli. Yeah, that guy. You guys know the guy. And Biza, I know you can definitely pronounce his name. I trust you 100%. Casemiro will send Partey to the 18s, whatever, mate. I think if we were looking off this season, Partey is the best DM in the Premier League. But Casemiro comes into this league with a CV that's unmatched.
With everything they've got.
Yeah. So I'm not mad when people are saying he's the best, because if we look at it on a bigger scale. But if we look at game for game, I test... I'm sure you Man U fans, even though you'd be reluctant to agree, you'd see what we're seeing as Arsenal fans when it comes to Partey.
It's a conversation.
It's 100%. It's just that he doesn't have the trophies to match what.
It's a conversation.
So, and that's all the Man U fans are going to keep saying. But he's got 5 Champions Leagues, and that's all they're going to keep saying. So it's kind of a long conversation. It's not even a conversation.
It's irrelevant, though, because
it's long. No, but you know what they're like, bro. You know how they're going to approach the conversation. So it's not even a conversation. If we're talking strictly football, it's a conversation.
Yeah,
100%.
Man.
So Gooner Rest says, good day, guys. Out of topic. If we get Declan Rice, I'm good. Declan Rice. I wouldn't mind him. It's just the money. It's just long. Hakim Ziyech is collecting dust at Chelsea. But
I think I was looking at him before he went to Chelsea. I want him to come to Arsenal. He's my fucking guy. He's a fucking great player. He's awesome. He's been ruined at Chelsea, but he's not going to be able to leave because Chelsea don't have anyone else to replace him.
Look, I think we don't need a player like Ziyech right now, although I do love him as a player. And what's happening at Chelsea is a travesty to him as a player because he's a quality player. And we saw when he went to Morocco, he was enjoying his football. Look how he played there. Back at Chelsea, he had a stinker last night on the wing. Yeah. So, do you get what I'm saying? That's like putting options to buy with Saliba or Balogun. Won't happen with a top talent. I hear you. But if we're going to take that much of a commitment of 21 million, I need some sort of obligation option. Do you get what I'm saying?
It will be an option, but it's. I understand what he's saying. For that type of talent, the option would be very high. And I'm not sure Atletico would be inclined to do it. But then I'm not inclined to pay 21 million for 6 months. So see you later. Do you know what I mean? I'll stick. I would rather bring. Well, I don't know. Let me ask you a question. Would you prefer to bring in Joao Felix or recall Balogun from Rems?
Joao Felix.
Oh, wait a minute.
Actually, wait, hold on.
And you know what I'm going to say here. You know what I'm going to do here.
It's not as easy as when you first think.
If I recall Balogun, does that mean I get 2 other players?
Potentially, yeah. Because
that changes a lot.
Then I want Balogun to come back. That's what I want. Hey, my guy.
Yes.
Yo, hey, why can everyone see you? Okay, I can see your face now. Big up, Williams in the building.
What are you telling me, man? What are you saying?
Well, good, man. Happy New Year, my guy.
Happy New Year to you, man.
Yeah, man. We're
man,
just
bless
wrapping
up,
up the
bless up.
transfer talk. About to quickly 2-3 minutes on the Oxford game. But in terms of this transfers talk that's going on right now, like, who do you want? Who do you want? Like, obviously, Solomon Marquis says, why not go for Mitoma or Brighton? Very good winger. I wouldn't mind him as an option, but just not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Kudos of Ajax. Very, very good World Cup, and he can play across the front three.
What kind of money
Ghanaian
were we talking
international.
about?
I think he'll be under 50 million. So
What are we saying? What we're
Kudus.
giving up on Mudryk then? Is that it?
No, I've not.
Okay.
seen
No, it's not. It's the money, bro. It's the 88 mil. Like, if you're telling me we'll spend 88 mil on Mudryk and still sign someone else, everyone on the panel will be like, yeah, let's go. But if you know Arsenal, you know what we've been like.
Yeah.
Can you see us paying 88 million and then buying anyone else, bro?
Nah.
Yeah,
You're right.
Nah. And then we're royally
That.
then
Is that real? Is that real?
grab
innit?
Mudryk, put him in the number 6 role, see how he goes.
You know what it is with Mudryk? Because the guys, Edu and Arteta, like, I trust the policy and who they go for now. Like, they don't really get things wrong. So if he goes to Chelsea, you know, like that, they've got to get one right sooner or later with all the dusty man they bought over the years.
Boy.
You know what I mean? So that could be the next. I worry that he could be the next one, like, you know, a Hazard, Robin or something. Like, you never know.
I hear you.
I think, that's the problem. He's going to a rival. But yeah, Felix, I heard you like talking. You know, bro, honestly, just because he's proven, like, if he could get it, what's Zaha's contract saying? Like, even him,
6 months, bro. 6 months.
6
bro.
months, bro.
If you can
6
snap him
months.
for a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
bring him over, bro. I've been calling for him, bro.
Come on, G.
You know what?
I
Zaha,
don't know. Podence is a bit hit and miss for me, and I don't think he's.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I watched Zaha play the other night against Spurs, man, and
he didn't look good. I won't lie. That wasn't his best.
No,
game.
it wasn't even that though. You know what it is? You know what it is with
Most
him?
of
It's
the
just when things don't go his way sometimes, man. It's like he
Yeah.
kind of does the whole like throwing his arms about and screaming, and I just don't know, man. Like, I think he's definitely worth a risk. I think if you can't get your first options or whatever, than that,
50 can't be more than 15 mil as well, man. Surely
it can't be. He can't be. But I think we've seen it before, even with Yuri Tillemans and Leicester. I think clubs are digging their heels in with these out of contract players. I think some of them prefer to just let them go on a free than actually take a reduced fee, which for me is crazy. But I mean, Zaha, I still think there's an issue around his just general kind of aptitude and the way he approaches the game, that I don't think that, you know, there's a recipe. If he comes to Arsenal, there's a recipe that him and Arteta will fall out. That's what I think.
Nah, but do you know what I think about Zaha? I reckon if he does sign for us, there's certain conversations and non-negotiables he would have had with Arteta for him to even agree. Because Arteta seems like the guy that if he's in a meeting with someone, he asks a couple questions and he doesn't get some right answers, he'd be like, you know what? Nah, guys, cut him. Nah, they want him. Yeah, he looks like that type of guy. Yeah. So if I do see Zaha in an Arsenal shirt, I do believe it's because he's agreed to do certain things that Arteta, with the conversation with Arteta.
The thing is, he always gets the arm probably because he's playing for a shitty Palace, bro. You know, like that.
he knows that if he doesn't do it, who's going to do it?
It's a bit different, you know, like that.
Did you see my reaction earlier when the man said...
you had me up. Who do you support? Palace? Zaha.
You lot, man. Terrible. Man. Big up all the comment section.
Yeah.
Share, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Like it and subscribe to Niger. Subscribe to all these guys. They're really good creators, man. Check them out.
Big up yourself.
Big up, man. And check out Boods as well. He's all over everywhere, man. Like TikTok sensation. Go and check him out, man. I'll definitely put his details in the description of the video. He's a modest guy. He's talking from the East Wing right now. But yeah.
I saw it earlier the other day when you cooked Chelsea, fam, on some podcast. That was jokes. My man said Thiago Silva's older than Potter. I was cracking up.
Yeah. That finished me.
I was
no, but it wasn't that he said it. It was the way.
That's what I'm saying.
It was literally like, he's older than Potter, isn't he?
Bro, it's just a realization, mate. It's real. They're dusty, mate. I'm not worried about Chelsea.
I was busted up.
We ain't talking about Chelsea anyway, yeah? Till they get in the top 10, bro, yeah? We don't talk to them. Get above Brighton, Yeah, get in the top
Nah,
six. Then we
they need to be winning in West London before they
West
talk to us,
London,
bro.
they're
That's
bottom
Win the
of
saying.
West
bro.
London competition.
Imagine
Beat
that. They
Brentford
said
and
they was the
Fulham,
best club in London. Yeah?
You know
Now
they
they're the
spent-
shittest in West.
You know they
Can you
spent
imagine?
332 million euro
be
between
there.
last summer and this January.
Crazy. It's mad.
Brother.
And that's not even including the Nkunku fee.
It's
And
mad.
they've not,
no way.
they've
That's
not
not
even
including
finished,
Nkunku.
bro.
No,
And
it
They've not
doesn't
even
Enzo as
finished,
well.
bro. They've
because
not even finished.
Nkunku was undisclosed. If you go on like transfer market stats, they don't include his fee. Between summer and this January, they've spent 332 million euro. Mad.
Man's got about 20 centre backs,
Mad.
bro.
Yeah.
Brother, literally,
Yeah.
bro. Hey, so many. Hey, spot on their rivals
And
of Fulham and Brentford, bro. And Brentford,
Yeah.
my guy.
Oh,
Come
man.
on. Exactly.
With
That's what it's really
Partey,
thinking
Xhaka, and Jesus running the core, Zaha would fall into line. I do agree with that, bro. BX Gooner, he will fall into line with more experience around him, people that
true.
tell him about the club. And Kuku's a very, very good player. I would have loved him. I would have loved him, guys.
Great player.
Imagine having him as an option with currently our attackers. Smash the like button. We should be at least 20 likes, guys. Come on, man.
Come
Don't
on,
take
guys.
the piss,
Like
man.
it is free.
Smash
people.
the like.
Come on.
It doesn't cost you anything, mate.
Yeah.
But to
Just
wrap up,
click.
guys.
Yeah.
We got FA Cup game in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Apparently, we got FA Cup game, and I don't know about you guys, but I personally, anyone that started Newcastle shouldn't be in that lineup for me. I don't know about you, where you lot are at. I know. Look, I'm not telling you I want to go out of the FA Cup, guys. I definitely don't want to go out of the tournament. But right now, with how kind of leggy we looked against Newcastle as well at certain bits, I want all of them to rest. I don't mind seeing like a Zinchenko or Tierney because they like to rotate anyway. But anyone that started that game for me needs to not start. Maybe we can have a couple of options off the bench if we need a goal, but none of them should be starting.
Though, Nigel? Who's going to be up front?
Eddie can start. I don't mind.
Eddie's going to have to start.
Eddie can start every game, bro.
Eddie and Marquinhos.
He's had his rest over the years.
Eddie ain't leggy. Eddie's trying to get more minutes, man. Are you joking?
Eddie will take anything he can get, man.
He's like, yes, boss. You need me? Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, as well, Ash, are you forgetting who's the domestic cup champion? Eddie, bruv, he bangs in goals in domestic competitions. Bro. Are you joking, bruv?
He loves that, man.
It's caddy, man.
They're sitting. Yeah. What are they sitting like 13th or 14th in their respective league? Yeah, like they're struggling, right? So
were they championship? Are they?
Yeah, championship.
Okay, yeah.
So 13th or 14th, I think it was last time I looked. Fucking hell, like we should be able to rest up a lot of players in this game, but at the same time, Nigel, you're right, man. I don't want to go out of the FA Cup, so
bro,
we can't be really putting in the worst players, eh?
Bro, let me ask you, does Partey be anywhere near that game?
No.
Partey's got to be at home. Partey's at home getting a massage.
I tell you what though, I would go strong bench though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would have.
But Partey wouldn't be part of that strong bench though.
Personally, I'd have him on the bench.
Nah.
Yeah,
I'd have him on the bench with Martinelli.
Because I'm telling you now, I do not want to be going out the FA Cup like we did Brighton in the Carabao Cup. I will be pissed off. I tell you that. The FA Cup for me, people try to or trying to start putting the FA Cup in the Carabao Cup kind of conversation. For me, it's not.
Bro.
For me, it's not. Like it's not
legacy,
a Mickey Mouse Cup. It's not a disrespect cup. Like the FA Cup is a serious thing, you know. So for me,
that's a double cup.
I would rotate.
That's a real double.
Yeah, I would rotate the whole side, but I would have a very strong bench. So if any kind of indication this thing's going south, I'm gonna throw on the man there and secure the thing. 100%.
I hear that. Like, I don't know. Is there any prospects in the reserves or the youth situation that you'd like to see in that game in particular?
15-year-old you can play, bro. What's his name?
Come on.
Wannieri.
Yeah, he can play.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing
he
more.
Came on
against. He looked decent in a
in
couple of the friendlies, isn't it?
And he played in one of our Premier League games.
He
come on,
Brentford.
That's right.
That's how you know we're flexing. Man was dropping 15-year-olds on Brentford. Meanwhile, Brentford are slapping out Liverpool now. Do you get me?
Even the Duggery winger. There's a young boy called Dewberry.
Wait, hold on, guys. Do you know how much of a disrespect that is? As you deep it,
Proper.
we
Schoolboy.
dropped a 15-year-old on Brentford away. Not even Brentford at home, bro. And Liverpool got slapped up by these.
This man had to.
Man, you got slapped up by
Man
these.
had to do his homework, bro, when he got home and that.
Yeah.
Even when he got home, he was sitting on the bench doing his maths homework, bro.
Bro.
Gosh, shit.
Brother, Liverpool fans and Man U fans can't chat to me right now. After I just realised what just happened there, they can't chat to me, bro. That ain't mad. Okay, Solomon Markey says, guys, let's use fringe players for the FA Cup. We prioritise the league. Simple. I think North London Derby to consider. Europa. Been almost 19 years. Arsenal enjoy league success. Let's go. Sit out all regulars. North London Derby. Focus on the league. I hear you. Look, as we said, we all believe that we should play a rotated team, but we want a strong bench just in case we do need it.
Yeah.
Although our priority has to be the league for sure, because we got 14 FA Cups, the most in English football. Not to brag, but it always be nice to make it 15 for sure.
You reckon our B team would do it though? I mean, like, remember Forest last year, bro?
That's the thing, bro. That's the thing.
Bro.
But I reckon this B team is stronger than last year's B team, but this B team's still kind of toilet, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, look what happened last game. No one come on. Like, he brought Tommy Asu on. You know,
what's happening with ESR right now?
He can start.
He might make the.
Oh, he can start that game, yeah.
Yeah.
So him and Fabio Vieira.
Yeah.
Marquinhos. Eddie's gonna be there as well.
15-year-old.
Tommy Asu
in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Tomiyasu, Cedric on the right, Tomiyasu right centre back, Holding beside him.
Sambi, James Brown, Lakonga in the middle.
Yeah, Sambi in the middle. It's not a bad squad.
With his walking stick.
Hey,
that ain't enough to beat Oxford. Is at home as well?
Don't be knocking on El Neni. I bet you he scores a banger from outside the box. And then you've eaten your words. I'm going to record this.
Comment section, let us know.
It's away.
That's even still, we should have enough to get the job done with the bench as well. With that lineup and the bench, we should have enough, to be fair, man. I don't know.
That's on TV, yeah? That's on TV, isn't it?
It's got to be,
BBC thing, I'm sure, man.
Nice.
Is it? Oh, fuck, I'm trying to watch that.
Where
the fuck am I going to find that in Australia?
Set the alarm.
I do not want to go out of the FA Cup, man. Not at all. I love the FA Cup, bro. I don't want to go out.
I understand what BX Gunner is saying here. The cup isn't a priority. The league in Europe are. I know what you're saying. But look, let's say this BX Gunner, we're playing Oxford, right? This shouldn't be a big test. So what we're saying is, rotate the squad heavily, have a decent bench. I mean, if we get further in the FA Cup and it's a choice where we have to make a choice between the league or Europa, that's when it's going to be. Exactly as he said. Look, you know what, boys, let's put the second squad on. We're going to bow out and we're just going to focus on that. Right now, it's so early days, and Oxford 14th in their respective league.
Nah, it's not even like they're challenging for promotion.
ITV1.
They're closer to the bottom of the table now than the top. So
be like Chelsea, mate.
Yeah. They got something in common there. Definitely, mate. Yeah.
I don't care, man. Chelsea been on our neck for years, man. Anytime I get to crush them, I take the opportunity.
They deserve it.
Bowley's in charge of all the incomings and all that. Every time you hear someone's going to be going for like a Mudryk or this and that, we'll go get him. We better go get him. Yeah. We should go and try and get LeBron James. I bet you he'd go chase LeBron James.
Fact. You know there was LeBron James. You all know there was a meeting at Chelsea. It was like, hey guys, we need to get Cristiano Ronaldo. We need to get him in, guys. Fucking get him in. He's a top star. He'll sell shirts. Let's make it happen, bro.
His celebrations, man, are superb.
Tuchel said no. You're fired.
Yeah.
Peter Cech goes, what are you doing? You're fired. Marina looked at him. You're fired. It's all over.
No, but real talk. Did you not see how that Todd really thinks the Premier League is the NBA? Did you see in the box yesterday? He had all the new signings, like how in the NBA.
He's trying to shoot threes.
Yeah, like he shows them off, like this is what your life's gonna be like now, boy.
Come on, man.
Look at
your
the
contract lengths as well, bro.
7 years.
Contracted
7
years,
40,
bro.
7 years.
8 years contracts and that.
Bro, I've never seen that in football,
dusty,
bro.
And then 100 bags.
The whole reason it's only
Kids
4
on
to
the
5
bench.
years is because if they're shit, you can flip them, bro. And this guy's got 8-year contracts going, 9-year lifetime contract.
Bro, it's
You see
madness.
his face as well, that guy. Did you see his face when he signed up?
Nah, I never saw it.
I'll send you something. I've done a video on it. I'll send you something.
Oh,
Please
my God.
do, man.
Guys,
Guys,
we're gonna take care of you in this 50,000-year-old fucking 50,000-year-old fucking stadium.
Bro, it's a joke thing, bro. Big up everyone in the comments today. Big up,
save the bridge.
Big up Silver Fox. We're doing up donations for the bridge right now to try and save it.
My
big
bro,
up Silver
Fox
in the building. But guys, obviously, we've gone a little bit over, but I know none of you on this panel think there's anything to in terms of alarm bells to sound off for Arsenal right now. It's going on track for me right now, as we predicted at the start of the season. Better than we predicted, to be fair. So, if anything, I'm still we're overachieving mode rather than, oh my gosh, we drew against the third best team in the league. Oh my gosh, like alarm bells. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't draw to.
We're parking the bus.
Exactly.
It wasn't a back and forth. It was us fucking just going.
They had nothing attacking wise for us. They just sat and parked the bus. But guys, what do you think? Obviously, none of us can probably predict what the way Arteta's going to go with the lineup.
Yeah.
But what are you expecting in terms of score predictions for that game against Oxford? G, kick it off.
Comfortable 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know we're always going to concede in there. That's why you got to add that cheeky one in there.
100.
Aussie, what you said?
I don't think we're going to concede. I think it's going to be 2-0.
2-0. Okay. What you saying, Boots?
Yeah, I was gonna go the same. To be fair, 2-0, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a little
Rob
3-1
Holding,
too.
like Silver Fox's guy. Rob Holding, like securing the back line.
Yeah.
It's
Clean sheet, Rob.
Be calm. Oxford State University.
Listen, Holding
that header off the head
by no Oxford U, you know.
I don't be part of the highlight reel, Rob. Don't be part of the highlight reel, Bobby.
This guy gets spun every time he plays, bro.
Hey, let me see. We're gonna finish the We knew that was gonna trigger Silver. He's in the comments already.
Yeah.
He's burning his hands right now.
He's coming with me.
I'm gonna let's go through a couple of these final comments and wrap up. There's a big gap with our first squad and our reserves. Things might unravel. No depth. Just got out of the World Cup with Jesus injured. I mean, that was impressive. Just getting out of the World Cup with only Jesus not coming back. So it could have been a lot worse. Solomon's going with a predicted lineup. He wants Turner in goal, Cedric and Tierney as the fullbacks. Who's the centre backs here?
We don't have centre backs.
Okay, no centre backs. Fine.
No centre backs.
Lokonga, Elneny, Marquinhos, Vieira, Smith Rowe, and Nketiah with no centre backs.
Upside down Christmas.
He's got centre backs Holding and Tomiyasu. I would like to see Tomiyasu as a centre back.
He's a centre back.
Yeah, I'd like to see him in that position for Arsenal. So I wouldn't mind. Big up BX Gooner. Hat trick for Rob Holding. I'd love him to score one. Let's not get too excited here.
Off the hair.
Emmy Baba 2-0 to the Gooners. Gee, I'm coming for you. Big up Silver Fox, my guy. Smash the like button, whether you're watching now or later.
Smash the like, subscribe to Nigel's
comment,
thing, man. Check him out.
All of that. Check me out on Tunnel TV as well, and also Red TV on a Monday. And all the details of the illustrious panel is going to be in the description of this video, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Have an incredible weekend. FA Cup fever. Don't forget to catch me for North London Rivals on Monday with Deji. And unfortunately, for the first time in like 2 months, Deji's actually going to get to host the show because Spurs finally got a positive result. So big up Deji for the first time in 2 months hosting the show. Smash the like button again, people. Have a great day. Have a great weekend and enjoy the FA Cup. Have a good one, guys. Bless.